of you to join us. Come on, we've got pizza coming in.
It's cold, so
What do you mean it's
not
cold?
getting any colder. It's leftover shit.
It's leftovers. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Not like it's
You
gonna
want
actually
water too?
fuck. Yeah, I'll take water. It's not like it's actually gonna help me, you know. But
We really ordered a lot, didn't we? Wait, did we order the... I hate it here.
someone always order us that, and they don't
No,
understand.
it's that monstrosity
Hey, Vic.
over there.
It's horrible.
So,
Trash.
It's disgusting.
It's the utter garbage. That shouldn't exist.
Looks like leaves.
Of all
Those
the
are
fucking
Doritos.
places that closed
Yeah,
down
it still
after
looks
the
like
fucking
leaves.
tsunami, why not that
No, I
place?
hate it.
Why are we still ordering there?
I don't know.
It's
Support
cheap.
your
Always
local
been-
businesses.
I don't want to support that.
I almost don't want to sit.
Give us a discount.
I feel like my reputation's on the line here. I don't want to sit on this dinky little chair. Your feet are not even touching the ground. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, mine's
That's like
not either.
normal.
Get
She's small.
longer legs.
I mean, yeah, okay, most of you
No,
aren't.
no offense, honey. I just want to stress that.
Come on, sit down.
Jesus.
I feel like the
You know,
situation's got to be bad if you guys are
That
calling
was
me
actually
back to the fucking
tolerable.
table.
It's
Oh.
not actually that bad. I think you're here because you're a big time leader in the past.
Don't touch the ground, see? It's embarrassing.
And well, I respect you a lot, so yeah.
And you
don't think
kind of
that'd be
also
right.
said that you want to sit in on the leadership meetings that one time.
Like a month ago.
You still said it, man.
Promise kept.
Yay. Alright. For real.
I have my own reasons for inviting you, of course, which we can get into here shortly. I'm sure you probably want to start us off, Sean, right?
You do realize why I said in there, why I asked people what they expect of me, right?
Maybe, maybe not. Regardless if you meant it a certain way or not, I still felt like my point needed to be made.
I was trying to understand what they want me to do. If they think I'm doing enough, they think I'm doing too much. That sort of thing. Just to understand, it wasn't made out of anger or anything.
No, I get that. The anger, frustration side was more towards the conversation you had with Lucky and your instant concern to people that were. We have a problem where one of us hears that somebody's complaining, and then we jump to conclusions and we all go batshit crazy, like the Hollow's gonna fucking go into some manhunt or something. It's trauma, bad history. We've had it happen to us before. It's just a normal thing for us to all assume. So, but I don't think this is the case. I think like 2 people talked or something like that, and that's it.
Well, still, don't know.
Anybody want a drink?
No, I'm good for now.
Just water.
I'm done
If
for
you're
one,
getting
yeah.
up.
Oh, you want anything, honey?
I am gonna stand up. I don't want to sit on this fucking thing. It's irritating my legs.
You don't like the
Oh yeah,
stool?
we respect you so
No.
much less because you sat in a chair.
I just don't want to sit in it. My little legs are pissing me off.
It's the chair of equality.
Wasn't there something
Stools.
about like getting everyone on the same level?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't think that
He's
can
not on our
happen
level.
for some of us, but
He's not on our... Wow!
Thanks, man.
I'm just saying, even if they are sitting.
Dear goodness.
There you go. There you go, honey.
But For me, on this, there is the fact that, one, I'm the boss of the Whispers right now. And two, Lucky, even when given an order, didn't follow through with it.
Yeah, what's this about?
What's this about? There's an issue going on, and Lucky wants to keep it general rather than give it to me privately.
I see.
I even promised him there's not gonna be any witch hunts, there's not gonna be anything. And yet, no, not a single thing.
Yeah, in leadership maybe not so much, but in private I could understand.
That's what I said. I said send it to me in private.
Okay, let me lay out what I think, and then you can judge it for yourself. I'm pretty much probably just going to be going over the same stuff I just went over, but I think the issue is a little bit more. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think it's more of your personality, Sean, and less so of how you lead. I think you're a good leader. I think you're a great. You kind of remind me of a sergeant, right? You're like good at all this tactical bullshit, and then being the. You literally remind me of Marcus, but it just doesn't suit you. I don't mean that in the negative way. Marcus was actually a pretty decent man behind the scenes. He put on a front for those that he needed to, but when it came down to business, he was straight to the point and knew how to conduct himself. He ran multiple corporations, kept Victor Strange in line, and even gave Victor Strange this false sense of control. And then when all was said and done, he left. And even today, people can't really find him. He knows what he's doing.
The cost was just shotgun crews and walking on your own people like they're ants.
Yeah, I take no pleasure.
I can tell you what caused that. Well, that's a discussion for another time.
Well, we all know
Sure.
what caused that. Yeah, Marcus O'Delly was a paranoid man, an incredibly paranoid man, and let it get to his head, which I see in you. That is why I think Lucky doesn't trust you, or why people just have this innate fear. It's because when they bring up an issue, you take it to 100% as soon as possible. And it's like, you gotta fix it, now and then. With some people, you need to take it slow. You need to egg them into it, make them feel secure and feel like they can speak before just being like, this is an issue, I need to fix it now, who is it? When you do that, it makes it seem like you're taking an aggressive route when maybe you're not even meaning to. I mean, for fuck's sake, text on a phone is worse enough, right? No one's gonna ever understand a fucking tone on text anyway.
So that's why I wanted this.
Yeah. And also, Lucky is just rebellious.
Lucky's not the only one.
Very true.
Lucky and Trace both have not been great people on the leadership council. It's not just me saying that. It's a lot of whispers saying that. A lot. Of course, they're too scared to say it because, hey, you know, I'll be honest with you, dude.
Leadership.
You could rip me in half. And the fact that their responses have not been great, but they're not here to obviously retort, so I don't want to sit here and badmouth them too much, but there's been a great deal of people who don't...
I would like to hear what people have been saying about them, but after this.
Of course.
But to go back a little bit on what you said, this whole thing of you weren't frustrated or you were just asking what people... You can't ask that question. I just don't... I don't think you in the position that you are in should be asking anybody at this table what they expect of you. Because the people around this table need to know that you already know what you're doing. I feel like that. Yeah, I don't know for some of you. I'm not gonna speak for all of you, but I feel like that gives a sense of false hope. Maybe it makes you doubt what we assume you should know what you're doing, right? When I look for your counsel and your leadership, I don't want you to have to ask me what I expect of you. I expect you to just tell me what I should be doing, right? Or what you expect of me. That's why we're here, is to help you, not necessarily really the other way round. As complicated or as weird as that sounds. Maybe I'm not wording that correctly. Obviously we're here to help you, but we are more here to help you. And that was my main concern, is I'm worried that you seem like you don't know what you're doing. I know that you feel that you know what you're doing. You know how to run the fucking gang. You've been doing it for long enough. Hell, you helped with the Fallen stuff. It was a thing that, there's a thing that Anne used to do. And there's a reason that I put Anne in charge of the whole Fallen stuff originally. Is they never... When somebody else can tell me how to run something, or tell me when I'm fucking up, that is what makes a good leader, right? Is people that can be like, hey, you're doing this wrong, you need to do this better. And just Anne had this way of, this flow of just always knowing a better route, a better option.
You know why?
It's kind of like... Me if I really think this is a gang anymore. To us, perhaps at this table, no. Perhaps to some of us, that's the glory days. That's what it once was. That's the easier times. The golden era or whatever. But for us, that golden time it's ruined, it's crumbled, it's just, it's do or die now. But for people that walk through our door, who are new, that have never experienced this life before, that have to now come down to our level, they're expecting a gang, right? And I feel like we put too much expectation on the new people that come through our door. It's a click of a finger, like, welcome to the army. You gotta do this. I feel like Trace is a bad example of this, or a good example, I should say. They how do I...
They have an
I feel
obsession with
like
proving themselves.
that, and it's more like they want everybody else to prove themselves as well. They want people to do things, to have things to do, and it very much can feel like this... You need to be organized. You're this. It feels militarized, or like a corporation when you've got people who are doing that. And I understand that we are in a position at the moment where that is necessary. But the only reason I say this is just... I don't see it as a gang anymore, no. But for people that do come through our doors that are new, are definitely going to see it as what it is advertised as. Or the rumors of what it was, right? So, I don't know. You're gonna have people coming through our door that are going to complain and are not gonna understand what we've been through so far, who are new, and are gonna feel like they're privileged and should know better.
Which, by the way, on that, just had to deny someone today. It was, what's her name? Callista. Had to deny her a mission request. That was also agreed that Trace would go with her on this, but the old USBs obtained from the church, one of the churches that we hit. Had coordinates from Strange, apparently from Elizabeth. You remember which bot that was?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wait, what?
Okay.
Yeah. They were asking to go
Why?
on that, and especially considering the recent mission involving Robin and the rest of intelligence and how that went so poorly even after I gave them specific instructions. It was denied.
What
Because Strange is mighty good at laying traps.
did they lay out the benefits to said mission to you, or?
All they said that was there'd be information to be gained. And quite frankly, I'd rather keep people alive.
Where did we get the
Yeah,
USB stick in the first place from?
The church.
Church.
Huh. Okay.
The most recent one
Yeah.
that we burnt down. They nabbed a bunch of stuff or grabbed as much as they
Where
could.
the electric thing was.
Yeah. I've heard the
Yeah,
stories.
there was. You had something to say, Cairo.
Yeah.
I have some insight into why Trace acts the way they do. Early on,
Right.
when Trace
Okay.
joined us here at the Hollow, possibly their first or second day here, the leader of R&D, and thus their boss, left that day. And another techie, who was high up, was executed because they attacked Six. Not a great impression for their workload. They felt that if they didn't do a good enough job, they would be next. And I think that's just always stuck with them since that day.
I mean, even when that was happening, I supported them when they gave me that information to move up to leadership. And I stuck with them through it to the point where both me and you were steadily watching them and medicating them just so they would sleep and get away from work.
And yet that
But
didn't
it still didn't get anywhere.
exactly.
I think it's turned into
An obsession.
yeah.
They
No
need to
matter,
be
It's
no
pride,
matter
yeah.
how much we help,
Mhm.
it's only gonna be solved by them doing something.
You remember when
for
I said that
themselves.
people are just mentally challenged? That's what I mean. They feel like some people just aren't gonna want to be helped, right?
Very
And
true.
we're just gonna have to work around that. Do I think they should be in leadership? No. I feel like people like that are gonna be a downfall. Because when you make a council or you make a team, I understand you did it out of
Trust me,
necessity.
I'm rethinking things, yeah.
But
I'm
to my-
rethinking things.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just waiting for you to talk. So, okay, two things. You mentioned, I don't know who the fuck these people are because I wasn't part of the gang. I don't know who this Ann person is. You're talking about that she was treating people like
Anne
fucking
was the
children.
old leader of the Fallen.
Got it, okay. You're talking about her treating people like children. I personally think, and I'm, again, like you said, when I came in here, this is a gang for me. This has always been a gang, but it's also just been a family. But I expect people around here to act like adults. The shit that we were doing for Trace with keeping them sleeping and whatever the fuck, wasting precious time out of Cairo's day, which, mind you, and sorry to bring this up, are very limited given to her fucking sickness. That's not acceptable. I don't know why we're doing this. We're not a fucking daycare, right? I'm not gonna start watching people sleep. I'm not gonna make sure that people take their medications
Let
or
me-
don't make their medications. If they don't do it, sorry, man.
Let me say one thing. I mentioned that she treated people like children. They weren't actually. It was mostly just keeping things in line.
She was
A lot of whispers
like a
nowadays.
she's like a mother figure. I feel so.
We
You
call
say
her
this,
Mama
but I,
Bear, actually.
I feel like your mentality is actually a part of the problem. So there is this idea now that everything just has to be like, as much as nobody says it, there is this aura of perfection that needs to be in place now. Everybody needs to have a job. Everybody needs to be doing something. Everyone needs to be lifting themselves up. And if you can't, you kind
Not
of
well
like,
enough
you know,
for now.
but perhaps, okay. Maybe I misunderstand.
You get me
but
wrong,
it
but
feels,
continue.
Well, no,
it feels to me like this.
I
Sorry.
think I see.
Go
I think I
ahead.
see where he's coming from. I do get what you mean. It obviously, like I said, for you and stuff. Even though it's a family, it's still a gang, right? You know, we don't need to be treating these people like 10-year-olds. I mean, hell, we have fucking Dia, who 24/7 we have to fucking literally damn near kick into order to stop being a fucking idiot. But where else are these people gonna go? If they go back out there into zero, they're probably gonna end up homeless, dead, or insane. If they go back into the rest of Zafira, I'm pretty sure a Hellgate just fucking opened in goddamn Market, so they're not fucking safe there. And then right now that they've worn green, there's a damn good chance Strange, Tigers, hell, even the Tower could snatch them up.
Oh yeah, no.
We're the
And
only
I feel like
people-
people are forgetting this. I think they're
Well, no, no,
forgetting
no.
how fucking dangerous this place is outside of this.
Y-
They're
y-
getting comfortable around here.
A lot of them really aren't. A lot of them are breaking down. Look at Wrench, for God's sake, just as a great example. I know what you're gonna say, and I agree.
About multiple times.
A lot of Wrench's stuff feels damn near fucking self. I don't worry. I've tried to be there for him. I get it, but we have to remember how much this has all changed. To say that we're just a gang now is just silly.
That's what
Now
I'm
we're fighting
saying.
people that are stealing people off the street. I mean, Kaijin Towers testing giant lasers and all kinds of crazy shit. You're right. There are certain people who need to be just. They need to be fucking dealt with. They need to fix their shit. Great examples, Wrench, Dia, and I'm sure more. But we have to try to be there for these people. And it doesn't mean everybody, right? There are certain people who are better at it than others. We focus on those people, and everybody else focuses on their work.
So this brings up one big thing that I actually want to talk about here. Because I don't want this gang, this criminal organization, to start feeling like a company. I don't want it to start feeling like a corporation. I want it, and we almost need it, to feel like family. But by golly, is that hard to get by? Especially when we have people who, like Daya, go out, they do what they want. For all I know, based off the tip I got recently, they might be eating people. I know, mic drop. But
She promised me to stop that.
You know what you
we'll
could
go into
do?
that more later.
Okay, that's a whole thing. Okay.
You could cut communications fully with Tigers, and the only people that are allowed to speak to Tigers from now on is you, and unless you approve it. And if anyone's found talking to a Tiger ever, even if it's Nevrasi, Maz, or whoever the fuck, they're just punished. And that's that.
That goes to another thing. Punishment. Not exactly the easy thing to go about, especially when we're going the way that we need to in order to keep people in line. We should be punishing people. We really should, especially for serious things. But I think right now, because we're definitely right on needing to ensure people understand how things are. And we have a lot of people who've been here in this for years, their lives, or even long enough just to understand. Correct me if you might think otherwise, but I think we need to start focusing a lot more on educating our newfound members and what
That's
things
the whole
are
point.
why
I
things are
wanted to make
dangerous.
those documents. And why I keep on asking.
And we need to
for
share
them.
with them. Yeah, and
They're
we need to
not gonna
share with
read
them
them.
how important they are because of that.
Look, I genuinely think you with the documentations and stuff is great. I do. Hell, even I'll probably give them a read. But all of the problem people that we're having to deal with, they're not reading them. They're not listening. They're not studying.
One
I
can't
don't
read.
mean ask them to read. I'm meaning it would be good to formulate all the information we need to get out and then have an actual meeting with
Mhm.
everyone and give that information. I know very well that people don't read the documents that need to, because there's still people that don't know everyone that's leadership.
I just worry that, like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna spend all this time getting all of this together. And the same problem people are still going to just sit there with their earbuds in or looking at the ceiling and just not paying attention. And then they're going to walk out that door and cause the same trouble we deal with 1,000 times over.
There is an easy solution to fixing this. Before Toku took charge, or anything like that, when I used to briefly run the Fallen when it first started, I had so many conversations with them where we had to sit
You
them
were
down,
stuck in
and
that room.
I was. And there was a reason for that. It's because people kept fucking up. And this is, as much as I said you shouldn't do mandatory talks, it's important to have these talks. Because I usually had these kind of conversations with Anne, right? And then we touched base, and then I took the information that she provided and we moved it into our larger meetings. There's a tipping point. And each time there was a tipping point, we'd gather everybody up, and I'd just fucking lose my shit with them and be like, look, listen, you're acting like fucking idiots. If you do this again, you're gonna be killed, or you're gonna get kicked out. It's because we're not laying down these... We're pussyfooting around them. And this is where I like half agree with you, half don't agree, because I feel like if you're gonna be a leader, you need to have that soft spot. You need to be able to connect. You need to be able to be that friend, that family guy that everybody needs, right? But then also when they're being fucking idiots, you need to be like, you are being idiots. Keep doing this, and we're just gonna remove you. So the people
Oh,
that
dear
are
goodness.
putting
Are
in the
you
effort-
actually telling me to be a dad right now?
Yeah, pretty much that's what this pretty much is.
You want it to
Vic.
be a family.
I do. How did you keep the fangs in line?
A lot of... sorry. It's old memories.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I served with them. I mean, I was always given special privileges because of Hermes. But I fought with them 24/7. I was always out there with them. I was down on the field. We bled. We died together. We served together. We fought together. And every time after a mission, every time after any outing, I sat together with everyone and we talked. Not about our gang, not about the fight, not about what we could have done better. We just opened up to each other. We talked. A lot of people broke down. I mean, right after a fight, when everything's all out there, your defenses are already busted. You had to hold them up for the entire encounter, so people opened up a lot more. And then we just worked together as best we could. Mind you, with the Tigers, sometimes if someone was causing a problem, they just kind of vanished. But anyone that I worked with, at least, it was tough. I had to beat people. I had to fight some people. I had to chop off a finger or two. I was never proud of it, but the alternative
remember
was
that
they went out
time.
there and made a huge mistake and then got entire groups killed. Or worse, with strange and people who could do things with your mind and fucking log stuff into you. You could come back in, give away information, and then an outpost could be dead. And how many? Hundreds? Thousands? Who knows? Gone in a millisecond because of a mistake that they made, because of how important our job was. Because the Fangs that were meant to be special fucking forces, we were supposed to be trained veterans and stuff from the military and stuff who could go out there and do their job. And each one of them knew that. Any one of them that didn't, I threw off their jacket, gave them a normal yellow one, and kicked them out of that outpost. But it wasn't because I hated them, it was for their own good. Which, if I'm being honest with you, why don't we do that? The Hollow is supposed to be special forces, right? We're supposed to be the best of the best. If these people aren't the best, send them to another outpost. They can still work with us, just not in the limelight.
This is why I said it was okay to invite him.
That's why I wanted to bring him. Which actually brings me to a point, Sean. You do. I keep saying this, and I don't mean it in the more negative light, but you do remind me of Marcus. A bit too much. You sit in a chair all day, and you got your own shit to deal with. I feel like you need somebody, like who I was to Marcus, who is your second, who speaks for you and is as much of a leader as you are, because you can't always be here. And when we don't have somebody that can also lead the gang, shit starts to fall apart. I can't always speak on your behalf and just understand your motives. I mean, the whole casino thing got a little complicated at some point because I fully didn't understand your vision. Things like that I don't want to happen again.
It got done.
When me and Biker were leading, the first ever time that I think the Whispers ever did a double leadership thing, it fucking worked. And I feel like, one side of us handled the people, the other handled the more nitty gritty, like you fucking up kind of thing. It was family and what's the word? Punishment, I guess. Discipline. There was family and discipline, and this worked.
Good cop, bad cop.
Kinda, yeah. And I feel like people, for the first time ever, you went on a mission recently with people, and I bet if you asked those people, put them in a room, did they feel connected to you in that moment? I guarantee you a lot of them will say yes, because they haven't gone on something with you in a long time. And once you do that with them, and you're in the field, there's that bond that you make. And you're not
I mean,
there
she's right
enough.
there. She was there.
I mean, true. I mean, did you feel a bond in that moment that you haven't really felt just sitting in a meeting room with Sean?
I mean,
Yeah, you can be honest, even if it's just a no.
alright,
I
if
want
will
honesty
be
here. I
honest,
don't want any sugar.
if I will be honest, if there was a feeling of a bond, it's not something any different than how I feel always. I'm not a great example
fair.
of feelings. Since I
Too
joined,
great with feelings.
since I joined,
What do you mean?
there is the notion, the understanding I have that you are in charge, you are a leader, you are guiding us, and to question you is wrong. That is how I have always felt and always feel. That is why I was one of the only ones who couldn't believe that you had died, and was one of the main ones fighting to bring you back. No matter what, I always believed that he would lead us. It's not a point of view most people can share. It's, I suppose, a bit inherited from my other family.
Kind of a bad example. They remind me of what I was to Marcus. That's your Chase Henderson right there. Loyal to a fault. a yes man, basically. No offense, but that's kind of what you are.
Yes, woman.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, sorry. Yes, woman.
Gotcha, baby.
Not with the generation. But I feel like a lot of people don't, feel that bond with you. And then when Marcus always used to walk through that door or walk through the train, there was that sense of, that pit in your stomach that you got because you just don't know this man. He's unpredictable. He only gives out orders.
He was also the size of the train car.
True. I don't know.
At this point, you might as well.
I wish.
Sean, I think you need to decide who you want to be. If you want to be the guy in the chair, then be the guy in the chair. But have someone who is your Chase Henderson. Or just be a leader and don't just give orders. Be one of the rabble. It's kind of my best advice I feel I can give.
Be one of the rabble? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, but get down to their level. Go with them on these things. Don't be afraid to be a part. I feel like that's where we make the closest bonds, right? It's when we're, as Spiker put it, on the field with each other. You're not
Could
just,
also put them at a lot of risk.
guy. It could, but that's,
Mind you could do an even mix where you participate more in terms of checking on people here, sitting down with them, eating pizza and stuff, which you do to some degree, maybe a little bit more. But in terms of missions and stuff, I still think that should be taken care of rarely, because they're going to be watching for the day that we send him out. Then all of a sudden, 3 tiger bosses are going to come jumping around the corner, and you're strong. I got faith in that. But
I can't.
pretty sure if a chainsaw,
I can fend off
yeah,
one.
I'm pretty sure if a chainsaw catches you like right here, probably done though.
Do you have, in the back of your mind right now, at the top of your head, could you tell me who you'd put in charge if you died?
Biker, Vic.
Okay,
Well,
good.
what?
Well, at least you've got someone in the back of your mind. It's important to have somebody
Yeah.
next. I mean, yeah.
I trust you explicitly.
It would work really well.
More pressure. All right.
No. Don't feel pressure. You just be you. You keep doing what you're
No,
doing.
you don't. Man, you don't. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sorry. Don't worry about it.
Well, now I'm worried about it. Is everything
A
okay?
talk
Can I be-
maybe another time?
No. I'd like it to be. I'd like it to never be a talk, but we're keeping this candid. This doesn't leave this fucking room. In fact, with the rest of
This doesn't
leadership,
leave.
you don't even talk about it. I can't give all the details. If I do, there's a good chance most of you are going to be dead and replaced. So take this how you will, and no, that's not a joke or an idle threat. There's more to this than just gang shit, Gus. A lot more. You've
Is
probably
this
noticed
something
that
involving
things...
Havana?
What?
It is, but it's involving us
The what?
just as much.
We'll go into it
So
later.
for
Wanna
context,
elaborate on
real
it?
quick, there was a group, just to really run down real quick, there was a group a couple weeks ago that came forward and said they were going to meet with some group called the Havana. Since then, I've not heard any reports, not got any word back. I don't even know what happened. I've heard rumor that Lucky's a little bit upset with this group or something because they attacked one of our outposts with Millie. So that happened, but other than that,
It did.
I'm completely in the dark.
What
of
are we
this
talking
is.
about here? Just a few guys?
Here,
What is the scale of this?
So,
Either way,
Uh,
let Vic go into it.
It's big enough that they're basically the backbone of a lot of this city. A lot of the big players. The actual people who control everything probably goes above even people like Vito.
You're telling me we're dealing with the fucking Illuminati here? Is this what's happening?
I don't
The
wanna
shadow
call it that,
government?
'cause it sounds a bit silly, but technically. Think about it like this. A bunch of the rich people who actually run a lot of the things in this city, of course they'd collaborate with each other. And what happened with the Tigers happened with the Whispers. This is just that, but to a bit of a greater degree. Some of us got stuck working with them because of Trace. I still hold a bit of resentment there, but seen a lot. Probably gonna see more. Our role is a lot more important. A lot more. People need to be given purpose. I wish I could say everything, but God knows I don't know if everyone's even ready for that yet. But have you noticed that the Tigers have been upping their game in the worst of ways? Hell, have you ever really questioned how Millie even has some of this crazy Magitech shit, or what she's really fucking with?
You mean Nev?
Wait,
Nev.
Millie has
Nev.
Not Nev, my
They-
bad.
they
My
mean
bad,
Nev.
Nev. Sorry, Nev. Fucking names, dude. Nev, yeah, Nev. Then we've got the tower. We saw them testing a laser that leveled an entire fucking area. Where do you think they got that from? All these questions, and the only people who are able to do anything about these people is us. No one else is. And it's gotten so
Slow down. You're actually suggesting that we're dealing with the fucking giant space laser? I've seen that thing. How the fuck are we gonna do anything about this? We're a bunch of fucking idiots with the best, like two guys with plasma pistols
we're
and
not.
like some scrap armor. Like,
We're not. We have people here who are learning how to harness magic. We have other people here who genuinely want it.
we
Go
can
on.
lift fucking pebbles. We're not even remotely ready for anything like this.
Then, okay. Has anyone been motivating these people to work together and learn more? Pretty sure that was supposed to be your job, right? So what's going on?
Yeah, I am trying to. The problem is, if they don't be careful about this, we have a bunch of people in medical with lost fucking limbs. This is not something you can rush. You need to fucking take care and time to learn these things.
I'm not
If you
saying
rush
rush
you
it.
actually end up dead.
I didn't say rush it. What I'm trying to say, there's a lot of things at play. A lot. Bigger than I got called in on a fucking job because of an idiot pressing too far and not telling people. And now I'm stuck in a bunch of things with other people where if we don't, things get worse. And seeing the full picture of it all, and it just knowing that if I make the wrong choice, they all die, and then everything falls apart, and then other
Micah,
there's
know-
a lot of things going on. People need purpose. They need you. They need all of us. Like, and I mean more, because I mean, like, I know that we say that we give it we all and we're doing all this, but we're not. Half the time I'll see people sitting around bitching about it and then complaining about one another, and it does nothing. Hell, all the people that I'm complaining about, I have gone to go talk to multiple times, and I plan to do it even more. So many of us don't have purpose. They don't have drive. They're lost, or they genuinely think that all we are just drug dealers. They haven't seen the bodies in the streets. They haven't picked off pieces from a drone that just pops someone's head off 2 feet from you. They haven't watched districts get detonated with lasers. They haven't seen how much the city is falling apart at the seams. We're the only people picking it up. How can you say that we're just a gang anymore? Just the other day, we were able to claim it. We were able to claim a zone. Just the other day. And the people there, they felt happy. They were walking through the streets safely. They had other whispers that were out there with them. They were taking care of businesses. Bro, it felt like a different world for a second. And I made sure to personally drive
to a tiger district to go check. The people there are scared. They are hiding in their buildings. The streets look dead, and the tigers look like fucking creatures with the way they walk around with their bats and weapons at the ready. We need to motivate these people. They need to know that there's more, that there's like a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a pipe dream that I keep getting fed every other day. But we have to be there for them. Have to. Because if not us, then who? Well, we're just gonna call the shotgun crews back. We're just gonna start kicking out people left and right. I do think if they're not ready, we should move them to another outpost. But we gotta do something. Because there's so much at play. There's so many eyes on you all at once. And they're beating for you. Like, they're ready for you. Just to fall one time. And if you do, it's like crows. Vultures.
They got to you good, huh? Shit.
All of it. Too much of it.
You said that, yeah, not to derail your speech, but you said that you feel like you're the only ones doing something. Well, something along those lines. Is that what they're telling you? Do you feel like you're trapped in this? That's what they do, biker. They drag you in, and they make you feel like you can't escape. You always have a fucking choice. If you feel like
Chase.
you're in something, I know what you're gonna tell me. And I know what you've probably seen with your own fucking eyes. I mean, hell, just a couple weeks ago, I went into some fucking mind thing and got to kill fucking Mind Malleus. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. I get that there are things that I will just never understand that you've seen. But these people, that's what they do. They manipulate and twist your vision so you feel like you have no choice. I'm glad you want to do good, and I get it. And you want to help everybody, I agree. But don't feel like you're stuck there, because you're not. If you need a way out, that's what we're here to do, is get you out.
Chase. And before them, I was with the biker gangs in the streets. I was driving out there to help people. I was out there with... God, every time I've learned his name, I've always forgotten it. The one tech guy. We were over in the fucking district. Out there saving those people. When I left, I went with the Valentis for a bit to help them. I've been helping people ever since this. And all I see around me, everywhere I go, is a broken world. And broken people. And every time I meet these higher-ups, if it wasn't all of the Malleus people, if it wasn't the vampire in their blood post, if it wasn't Havana in their tech buildings, it was corpses. You know, it's funny, when I stomp the ground, I still feel a squish. But when I'm actually out there, and we're helping people, I see for a moment, for a millisecond, a place where I feel safe for my family. Where I think I could take Fina here. We could go get some ice cream or something. Maybe I feel like I'm not gonna have to constantly be covered in blood 24/7, but I know that's not true. So they're not trapping me. I'm staying. Because my brother could have made something good. Dog could have made something good, and they're gone. And if I forget who they are, what they stood for, what they meant, no one else is. I don't want to forget them. I want to make the city better. I want to help these people. But I can't do it by my damn self.
You're not. Because we're here.
I know. That's why I'm telling all of you.
And you're probably
At
not
least
the
I'm-
only fuckers that are probably having to do this Havana shit, whatever it is. Whoa! I hate these fucking stalls.
You finally decide to sit down.
Yes, and that's why I don't. These little fucking stalls. Dangerous. But, Go ahead.
Too many thoughts.
That's
Oh,
what we're
I'll
for.
ruin the attitude we're having right now because you just gone.
Gus, you felt it. When you were at the top
But
of that
what?
casino. When you had the opportunity to kill him. Did you?
Yeah, but did I make the fucking world a better place by letting the fucker go? Or actively worse?
What'd you do?
I don't fucking know.
What did you do for you? Did you free yourself? Did you let those chains go?
I let fucking go, yeah. But I didn't let go because I got the opportunity to kill the guy. I let go because this is more important than some revenge fantasy of seeing someone's blood run down my
Exactly.
fucking blade. But that's not okay. But there's a difference between me settling a fucking score for myself and us going to war against the fucking corporations, against this fucking shit out there. Dude, we have been 400 years. There have been people saying that they are gonna go and take the fight to those fuckers. 400 fucking years. And none of them succeeded. Why do you think we have even a modicum amount of chance?
None of them have gotten this far. None of them. And I know because I've been there for a lot of them. I saw the start of all of this when it came to both the Whispers and the Tigers. Not from the inside. It's just a kid, right? But I know. We've never gotten this far. That is the start. You settled your score, but you did it in a different fucking way. You did it your way. You let those chains go from you, and now you have the opportunity to do the same for everyone else. Yeah, you're right. It's dark. It's fucking menacing shit. I'm scared out of my mind. I shiver at night, and sometimes I have to go sleep on the couch because I shiver and shake too much. But I still wake up, and I still push through every time. Because we can do this. If we stand, if we help these people, if we offer a hand, and we build ourselves up, the tower will not be able to do anything about it. They're built off of nothing more than lies and paychecks. The moment that we start actually standing up with the people, rising up with them, they won't be able to do anything about it. They'll threaten weapons and gear, and so long as if we keep doing our job, they won't have some of those. And then we'll push them back down into the dirt. And turn Zero into a city that isn't some grayed out map on the Saphira City fucking market. But it's a home where people can live.
You worried that we're bringing the fight to them, these corps. For the first time since the start of the Whisperers. We
The
want.
issue is
We have.
that they've already brought the fight to us in all the various
That-
ways that they've done things.
They don't.
For the
They
first
don't bring
ti-
fights anywhere. They already have everything. They have this fucking city in a chokehold. They.
Gus, if they had everything, they would not be down his throat right now, making him work for them. That's why these fuckers need us, because they can't get their hands dirty. And for the first time ever, the Whisperers have not actually been around the clutches of a corporation. When Marcus was all over that fucking corporation shit. The whole Council of Nine were just a corporation with businesses. For the first time, we are on our own in our own little island. Yeah, sure. Fucking Aki, whatever the fuck his name is, might think that he has control. But where the fuck's he been? We haven't been told anything about Kaijin Tower in a long time, and we're looking to take the fight to them. We're looking to take the fight to Victor Strange for once. We're not afraid to say his name for once. We are actually pushing back.
The Whispers are becoming something much greater. And we're here to trumpet that cause.
I'd love to see. I'd love to see your guys' vision. I would honestly fucking love to sit down in your chair and see it your way. But when I look out, I see fucking dangers. I see things that where I send people, I do shit, they come back as just mush, fucking corpses. They turn to fucking dust. We get fucking... Okay, I can't stress this enough. We are getting regularly fucking abducted by some weird magic guys that we have no fucking clue about, that are bringing us to these weird fucking dimensions and are telling us that if we don't do what they fucking say, then these people die. They use Xandra as a fucking toy to teach us some lesson about power and responsibility. She's fading away from fucking existence. I can't make this shit up. And you're telling me they're ready to take the fight to some... No, we're not. We're not. Should I start pushing them? What am I supposed to do here, man?
I'm not saying take the fight to the fucking tower immediately. We have to deal with the tigers first. We have to deal with Strange.
I know that. But you're saying that stuff like the magic shit is like an ace up on our fucking sleeves. It's not. It's a fucking burden. It's
an asset.
Gus.
He knows. Everybody here
Breathe.
knows that comes with time. And
Gus.
that's not ready yet.
The time is what we don't have, don't we?
You know what? I think you're giving him too much of a hard time. He understands better than anyone else anything about this magic shit, and that's why he's at this table. Because he thinks about this stuff in the only way that he knows how to. And for some of us, maybe we're just fucking blindsided, and we don't know what he's going through. I will never understand magic, and I never want to fucking understand it. That's why I stay so far away. So
This is also the
I
first
know-
I've heard about Xandra being used in such a way.
I don't think anyone would want to talk about that. That sounds like a fucking experience and a half.
It was a fucking fake. It was never a risk. They just wanted to prove that we would be willing to give our lives to one of the others, which we would have
Gus,
anyways.
Can I ask you a question? Is there any benefit to this magic shit? Because if there's not, just have it stop. Have him stop using it. If you think it's gonna fucking kill us at the end of the day, then
Of course there's a fucking... We ran, like, really fucking stupid experiment with one of those fucking dumbass tiny crystals. It healed all my fucking scars. They were gone. Nothing fucking can do that shit. No amount of therapy, no amount of...
Did you hear yourself? Did you hear yourself? Then you know it's an asset. So now you understand both sides. You understand yours, and you understand why they're pressing so hard, because you've seen what it's capable of. So as much as you're saying you don't feel you're ready, and you see this doom and gloom of it, but they've also heard the good of it. And that's why they're pressing you, because they feel that nobody else at this table is capable of making this happen.
There's
You have to
only
make this
two
happen,
people.
Gus.
There's only two people that I actively trust to go to ask questions about any of this magic stuff. And that's you, and that's Cairo. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased for Cairo, but I trust you, man.
She's the bet on that.
Like, genuinely. Like, even back before, when I kind of thought that whenever you and Queen were kind of co-oping together, I was a little bit worried. I still always had a little bit of trust, but that's done nothing but escalate over time. I don't want you to rush it. I don't. I worry that a lot of us don't have hope anymore.
Gus.
And that we've fallen into a lot of dark circles. I don't want you to get lost in that.
Only 2 days ago, we were shown how much our magic has developed since the lifting of Bureaucrats. We're only getting stronger.
Yeah, and so are the fucking risks. They're also getting big. Okay. Get that all that emotional shit out of the way. Question for leadership. Do you want me to push this stuff more? Do you want me to get people to actively do shit every week to document if they're doing their practices? Do you want me to do that? I can start doing that. I can lift the fucking ban on that they need to have.
That in a safe way, as safe as we can make it.
Yeah.
I know that's a hard ask,
is
especially when
no
you speak a
safe
word wrong from what you've told me, they start turning into ash.
Be more active in getting something done every week.
All right.
But make sure it's still done.
Plus
by
that
this
clinic you
proper
have down there.
procedure.
Yeah, the clinic. Okay. Can I have? It sounds so fucking stupid, but can I have some resources for that? A certain amount of
What do you
budget, something you can work on. I don't have the numbers for it, but I need just me saying that I can. Just me alone. What can I earn in a week? Like 1,000 credits? That's not enough to set up things. I'm not
What do you
talking
need to
about
set
giant
things up?
numbers. 10k, 15k.
You've got it.
Okay.
Make sure you get
Good
that
ideas.
clinic officially medically recognized, and I can actually send supplies there from the Merciful Heart.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of
By
the
the way, guys.
Hemwick agency, by the way?
The what?
The Hemwick agency. You ever heard of it? I think that's what it's called. I went on a little mercenary thing with Toku not too long ago to dive deeper into the market district to gather information on Malleus McKay and his old shopping business. This guy was opening portals left, right, and center. It was fucking crazy. I don't know if you can get in touch with him. Maybe speak to Toku, but
Don't
If you can
work
get
with
jobs
outsiders
there-
now, do we?
no, but this might be kind of up our alley. There are some objectives and missions that they do for a good amount of coin on the side that could definitely help benefit and bolster what you're trying to do. It's
There's
just
also the
a
Lucarium
suggestion.
that Marge told me about.
Again, we don't really work with outsiders on shit like this.
Marge is an ally.
If you
Yes,
guys
the
approve it,
crazy
I
rat
mean,
lady's an ally.
I figured as much.
And, we'll discuss it like
Yeah.
on a basis, but
Right on.
I think us reaching out, possibly
I don't even
taking
know how
helping
much
hands
things
would
would
be
cost
good.
over there at the moment, so we'll have to see.
You wanted to say something?
Oh, I remember a while back when you were threatening to leave. You said you were gonna go get some grenades and stuff and, go run up the casino. I know it wasn't me who, got everything done, but I'm glad that we were able to keep our promise to you.
Yeah. Just hope it was fucking worth it, man.
I think it was.
Well, we're getting
we
a
have
lot
any
more
word on that?
income that we can spend on various things, so yeah, it's been helping a lot.
And the stuff
I
we
know
found
that's
beneath the casino with the food and
Dead
stuff.
horse at this point,
Mhm.
but do we have any leads on that vault?
Yeah, I gave the coordinates out. Should have been investigated.
Okay.
I
We're
don't
just
think it was.
waiting for a certain Australian to arrive. Don't mind me.
For the first time ever. That time I've been alive and run the Whisperers, never did I think we'd ever take the fight to the market. Kind of leads back to your whole, feels impossible, that we're taking on these corporations or whatever. Our people survived whatever the fuck those things were that I think Malleus threw at us as well. I just think, we are changing. And I think this comes back to our previous conversation. As much as we are changing, we need to keep what we are, a gang, still open. That's how we get people, right? And I'm not saying we're trying to prepare for a war or anything, but we still need these A-star students, if you will. Because if we don't, and we don't have a generation to follow after you, Sean, well, people start dying when we start actually taking the fight to Victor Strange or Kaijin. I'm just worried that our legacies end here. I don't want that to happen. Not with this Havana shit, not with Strange, not with no Corpo shit either. I agree with Biker. We need to start preparing
Vic.
those. Alright, it's hard to get used to.
That's alright.
As Vic said, preparing our new generation for what is to come. Remind them that they are next, and they need to take pride in wearing this fucking color. You need to pick someone. I don't care who it is. It could be someone completely different, not even at this fucking table, but you need to pick someone to help you. To be your eyes and ears, to be your second, to be your voice when you can't be here. Who is more frequent. Because when you're not here, they need to be able to be here. Someone you trust.
I'll keep an eye out and think on it. But one thing we need to go over. How do we make sure this gang remains a family? We have talking regularly, especially after missions, not necessarily about the mission. We have making sure we spend time with each other, and not always about important tasks to do. Which, us being the Hollow, kinda hard.
I think it's about, the mentality of the entire space. I think it will take time, and it needs to be.
Time.
It's gonna be a slow process, but for example, you know how I bring people up to like the lead? It might not work. It might not even matter to some people. I think it's important, and it's kind of just a part of how I lead, I guess. I want to be more closer to the people I'm around. When I bring people up to the leadership room, I tell them to take off their masks so I can see them.
I do too.
So they can see each other. Yeah, it's kind of like small things like that I feel like will make a better environment. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't know the specifics of what we could do. I just think small things will turn into a positive outlook in the end.
I will say the mask thing's a bit bigger of an ask than even I originally thought. A great example, me and Queen. For a long time, I used it as a self-defense mechanism. Queen did too. The idea that who she originally was too weak, and she needed to have a persona, hold that strength. What the mask meant. That's what my helmet meant. I'd still struggle from time to time. Some of us, the mask means more than just it's a cool thing that I wear to protect myself. Hell, a lot of my bikers kind of share in that trouble. They wear their helmets because who they were, what they had before, it just wasn't enough. This is them now. They're new.
I know
who they
there are
are.
several people who will not take off their masks or their helmets for various reasons.
I feel like we had that discussion like
To live,
a few months
to
ago.
not get sick,
Yeah.
to keep
I mean,
everything hidden.
it wasn't
Yeah.
to say that, to force them or nothing. It's just a bonding thing. I don't know. Shows that's a
Those who
human
are
over
willing.
there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be an issue though with making everyone realize that this is a family. There's some people that simply will refuse.
Oh,
And they shouldn't be at the Hollow.
Yeah, like
We
who?
have a lot of outposts
You
who
got
could
names?
use them.
No. Not names of people,
Is this-
I'm certain.
Is this just a genuine,
It's
like a
it's
general
general
feeling?
Yes.
I spoke to Wrench about it once, and he was very adamant about us not being a family.
I feel like Wrench is not a good example. This motherfucker expects the world to be revolved around him. This sounds harsh and mean, but he needs help and appreciation. But at the same time, people give him this. I've seen it. People changed. I've seen people want to take him out, go places, and he's just the same every single time. You
I got on his
can't sit
butt,
there
too.
and you can't sit there and say that nobody's trying to help him. I've seen people try and help him. This is the same thing with the whole like
Oh.
babying thing that you don't want to do. I feel like that's babying someone.
Look,
In my opinion.
I think it's a good idea that when we get the time, we should do an evaluation. Not just one of us, not just two of us, but collectively. As leadership should do an evaluation on each person individually. If someone is not mentally well suited, we have a lot of outposts who could use them. And maybe stepping away from all the stress that the Hollow gives could give them time to reevaluate, to breathe. Not saying months, not saying years, just like a week, maybe 2. Be around some of the other Whispers, a new crowd of people, take a breather, get away from the stress for a bit. It could be good for them. And if it's not, and they come back, and they still cause the same struggles, then we just find a way to get them out of here, out of Zero. I don't like the idea of them being just thrown out into the world, but if they're not safe here, it's just not right of us to just keep them here to basically just wither away until they're no longer useful.
There is one
I don't-
easy way we can keep track of that, and that's, well, we have a department heads here, at least some of them.
I don't mean to be harsh about this
Just
Wrench
keep
stuff,
tabs.
but this guy also takes a liking to working. That is his motivation. So he doesn't like working, but also loves working, and that's all he does.
know.
There's a
But then-
difference. He doesn't love working. He likes projects that he finds interesting. But the problem that is happening with specifically Wrench is people that he doesn't even know the name of are asking him to do things.
But that's
without
his
getting to know
job.
him. Yes,
But that's his job.
but it goes 2 ways though.
Do we have room for our equipment to be breaking?
That's not what I'm meaning.
Him taking on extra tasks and doing and overworking himself is not related to that. He's mentally ill. He's using the work to distract himself from dealing with the issues that he's having. Bringing him away from it is his only coping mechanism we're taking away. That doesn't help him. Giving him more just overwhelms him, makes it feel like he is useless because it just keeps on piling up. At this point, I don't
intervention.
know if talking to him or even doing anything is actually gonna fix anything. I think
We
he
did an
might
intervention once.
just be
Well, then we do it again, but we do it. Look, it's clear that kindness is only going to get us so far in this, and I don't mean to punish him. I don't. No mental illness should be punished. But he needs to understand how bad it's going to get. Because he works not only with like weapons and guns, but explosives, equipment, all kinds of things. If he decides one day that, you know, he slips up because he hasn't been taking care of himself and he blows off another, well, he can't really blow off a hand, but if he decided to, you know, make a mistake and then all of a sudden a bunch of shrapnel right into his face or his neck and he died right there, it's a life gone for nothing. Whoever his closest friends, we figure that out. We have them do an intervention, but this time we do it with leadership there.
Miranda.
Not everyone in the Hollow.
Whenever she's around, she got real close with him.
It's a good option.
Do you
keep
see
leadership-
that way with? Can I ask? Do you see that mentality with everybody that works here? What about our medics? What if they just, you know, they don't get to know anybody? Were they just meant to stop healing people?
Maybe I worded it wrong. What I'm specifically referencing is people asking him for more than he's currently capable. That's
They're
what I'm
using him
that's-
like a tool rather than a person.
Yeah.
I understand that, but that is his fault. He puts himself in that room every day and makes himself
I don't think
look
you're
like
wrong.
he's available.
I don't
Okay.
think you're wrong, but I also think it's also in fault of the people that are asking him to do stuff that it is very obvious that there are
you say
other
that,
people to
but some
go
people
to.
are just fucking brain dead.
Yeah, I know.
And mentally challenged,
Well-
as I said before, just won't understand. They see him in there, they're like, "Oh, he's working, right?" That's just how it is.
Well, hold on. What stops him from just saying no? Because, like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Nothing.
I know my
It's
motorcycles. I know
Yeah.
my motorcycles. I know exactly what to ask when it comes to, hey, that fucking carburetor ain't gonna work out on that girl, or hey, them brakes gonna snap in a millisecond. But if someone asked me, hey, can you help me out with a hover bike? I'd look at you a little bit. Well, not if it's like a G2G. Point aside, there are certain things that I just don't fucking know. So I'd be like, I don't really know that. Sorry, you're gonna have to get someone else.
It's the
Why?
coping mechanism thing.
See, that's
That's the biggest
I think
issue.
that's where like
Self-destructive.
it's
It is,
it's
it
kind of
is.
where a
It's a
lot of
cycle.
I'm not trying to defend him or say that him saying not saying no or anything of the sort is okay and we just move on past it. There are so many solutions to specifically his problem, and with sitting down with him with leadership, that's going to be the only way we can specifically deal with his problem.
The reason I'm frustrated is because we need him. I think the work that he does is... We wouldn't be where we are without his assistance in a lot of things. Like, I'll hear somebody say, yeah, the only reason I have this weapon working is because of Wrench, or Wrench did this, or Wrench made this call, or did this, or repaired this. He is doing God's work, yes, but if we stop him from doing that, someone else needs to pick up that slack. And Wall should be here, and Wall needs to be the one that's fucking making sure that Wrench is staying in line. I don't feel Wall really has a backbone, but we need somebody who's a mechanic, who's an engineer, that's gonna keep their engineers in line. I feel like Gus keeps his mages in line.
Mages.
I feel
Cairo
Cairo keeps-
go so far.
you try your
Well,
best.
he definitely keeps the
I try my
medics in
best.
line.
yeah, Cairo knows what they're doing with that, and you know,
Hell, Myro-
even
Cairo keeps me
Trace.
in line.
The amount I've seen Trace talk in those chats and give out bullet points of what they need to be doing, as much as it's an organization fest, it's I feel like we need that for our engineers, because they are some of the most important coming up. The defenses for our base, the repairing of our tools, our weapons, our vehicles. You know.
Can I real quick? We're not gonna have the time probably in the next few weeks. Maybe Friday. I don't know. it really, really depends on how fast we can get this over with, because I know Fridays. There's already people like Wall and even Ven who are organizing to get all of them engineers together to have a talk about this. Why don't we not extend this? Get that into leadership. Get all of these guys together. Get Wrench in there. Have that intervention. Set things straight and hope for fucking God that that's gonna change something.
I don't think
Because at the point
gonna
that
be able
some
to-
researcher decides that it's time to organize something, we should have already done something.
I don't think we can fix the man's mental health situation. I think that can take years, time, or medication, or just never. I think if it comes down to worst case scenario, we're just gonna have to force him to stop in some areas, or unfortunately, we're gonna have to have someone baby him, and making sure that he's. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think it might be a good idea. It's very clear that some of leadership is better at understanding the human side of it, whereas some of us are a lot better at the tactical, right? You know, great example, right? Trace. They are wonderful when it comes to gathering information, the squad, the tactic of it. Problem comes down to when it comes to them being a leader and a people person, god awful. Whereas Lucky, he can chill out with you, talk to you, be super cool, be super nice. But then when it comes to leadership, trusting your leadership, following those orders, absolute garbage. I think what we need to do is better understand our own leadership. Which ones of us are better with the people, which ones of us are not. That way, the ones of us who are good with the people, we focus on Wrench. We focus on Grim.
We focus on Queen. People who are tremendous assets to us, who are falling apart at the seams because of what the world's either done to them or what has happened to them or their own selves. And then the ones of us who are better with the tactics, the work, you focus on the work. That way, there is no, oh, we're wasting time. We're not. Leadership who needs to work with the people, work with the people. Leadership who needs to fight against the tigers and prep us for the next battle, you're doing that too. It's like a good in-between, right?
I did try to be the glorified therapist, but until I met Justice, I way over my fucking head with that shit. Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, I can't do that shit alone.
Oh, by the
I'm not-
way, I don't know
I'm
if you're
sorry.
informed.
What was
I
that
don't
name?
know if you're informed, but
Knockout.
she decided to come back from the
Knockout.
dead.
Yeah, no. I told you about that, right? They approached me
All
at the
told me
meat
about
rack,
it.
and they asked me if they could speak with you because they want to be able to move around the meat rack freely and not be worried about being shot. And I said, first of all, the meat rack is neutral ground. You're never gonna have to worry about us there. But if you come in District 0, it's a no. And then they were like, well, yeah, I want to be able to move around District 0 without being shot. And I was like,
No.
you fucked up. Yeah, you're not, you know. Yeah,
My
And
I
buddies are
did.
on
for
the
this
road
is
looking for him.
spitting on it again. It's spitting on that mercy again. And if they show up, not having it.
And we talk about Queen. Queen is my next problem here. Man, I wish she was here so I could say it to her face. But they, I don't think, should be a leader.
I was
I mean,
actually going to ask just now before you brought it up. Does anyone here think that Queen should be a part of leadership? You do. Why?
Because the whispers are the goddamn reason why she became what she became. The council before all of you turned her into that. She got spat on, she lost people, and I know that because I'm one of the ones who made that happen. She struggled through it, and she became stronger because of it. And she's
That
still
doesn't make
fighting.
her. That doesn't make her leadership material.
But
That-
she's able to. When it comes to handling jobs that none of you are willing to do, she's the one to do it, and she has done it before. She's made slip-ups, every single one of you at this table have. We all have. I still think she's capable of it.
I'm not
And
saying
she's still getting
indefinitely, but right now, I can hardly get her to even be in the same room as Lucky. And I understand why. And my method to helping them with this is I want them to go on an objective together. They were very reluctant, but I need this to happen. And the reason is because I told her, hey, if you ever, for whatever reason, have to work with him, worst case scenario, do you think you could? And she said no, she'd probably want to kill him. That's not, I can't have a whisperer saying they want to kill another whisperer if they go on a mission together, right? That risks everybody's lives, their own lives.
Oh,
That's
Chase.
huge red flags for me.
thank
We're
you for the
focusing
raise,
on
man.
kicking Queen off of leadership, but Lucky has, let me see, smallest problem he's ever committed. Pulled out an LMG in the middle of medical and
Okay,
injured
sure.
multiple of us to attack Yuna.
We can move on to Lucky next, if you like. I think they are both problems. I don't think... I think they're becoming more detrimental to us than helping us. I feel like Queen is a constant reminder of failures, and she only is pessimistic and wants to bring up the worst of everything we do. I feel like Lucky does the same, but he has a bit more of a jolly mentality about it. I've heard Lucky speak about other people, and the way he talks about Queen and just people he dislikes, it's fucking filthy. There is a problem with those two specifically, and I feel like they are going to cause a lot of disconnect between groups, and Lucky has a very, how do we word this? He's kind of manipulative. So the people that are complaining to him right now, I feel like are a problem, because I feel like he's probably a saint to them. And I feel like this cycle with them too is just a problem. Bigger than what we actually realize. And I feel like this space of, family mentality, both of them are not helping with it. Lucky's got, as I said,
I can tell you
He's
right
good.
now, Queen doesn't help with that at all.
I'll go ahead.
And that brings us in another topic, because we're talking about Queen. That means we're inevitably also talking about Millie, and we're talking about Strange, right?
Probably going to want to focus on just leadership before we start
I
jumping
know,
into those
I-
subjects.
I have a question, because I wasn't there for it. You all were. I was never informed of it. Understandable. Back then I had a fucking camera in my fucking face. What was the deal that you struck with Millie? I've never been informed of it. Yeah, all of you. There was something that was made. She has a plan. She's mentioned that there's a deal between you guys and her, and I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I met with
So-
her in the underground, and we discussed things. And we basically come to the understanding that she needs to leave to be able to get us closer to Strange. And we needed to put on this whole performance of kicking her out so she could get closer to Strange, and things like that. That is pretty much it, really. It's just a big front.
no idea how
I don't
much
know
it
what's
really
happened to
is.
her now. I don't know what
Nothing.
the
That plan is
situation
still
is with-
going on. That is 100% still going. I've met with her. I've talked to her as closely as I could. Mind you, that was not in person after she had all the work done. All has to go over middlemen. But the same plan is still going. Still on track with it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no,
So,
no,
before we-
hopefully, 100%. I trust her to fucking do this shit.
Before we
If
get
anyone
off
can,
topic,
she can.
what do we want to do about Queen and Lucky? And I don't just mean Queen. I think they are both detrimental to the health of the Whisperers and our happiness. Lucky can talk all happy and good, but behind closed doors, he is not. He is a fucking psychopath.
He has people at the meat rack, right? People he cares
Look at
about
what-
outside.
alley.
Look at what they both have set up bombs though. And that's the scariest part. Queen, if you take away that leadership, she will take it beyond personal. She'll start to fall apart even worse than she already is. And then at that point, we just lost one of our best fighters, and I genuinely believe that from the talks that I've had with her. Him, he will do the same exact shit that... Not even gonna say his fucking name. That piece of shit who put bombs here, threw that EMP and got one of us killed. He'll pull the same fucking shit. I want you to know that one day when you guys wanted to talk to him, I think it was either you, I don't remember who, he came to me and had someone prepped in that room because he thought we were going to kill him. 1,000 times over I told him, we're not going to kill you. We're literally just going to talk to you. 1,000 times over. That man was prepped and ready and had people at his fingertips. I think we are past the point of being able to trust. I do not trust Lucky. I have still to this day wondered if saving him was the right fucking choice, because there have been things he's done remind me of yellow, not green.
He's manipulative. He sucks up to you, and he's like, whatever you need, boss man. Whatever you need. And I've heard him suck up to me as well. Be like, oh yeah, the old ways. I respect that. But he doesn't. When it comes down to like being in trouble or doing something we don't like, then he'll have something to say about it. I think you need to sit him down in a room with all of leadership. It's like a conversation that I had with oh god, I don't remember Willow's old boyfriend's name. He's the chef. What was his name? You remember?
Leo.
I remember that we hit a boiling point with him, and I set him down. I got my gun out, put it on the fucking table, and I told him, you're fucking with us now. You're not listening to leadership. You're doing things behind our back. You're pretending to be someone that you're not. And I gave him an option to walk out or to change his attitude and his perspective and become a better person for us. And he didn't. Fucked up, and well, he paid the consequences for that. I mean, not
Yeah, I
here
remember
anymore.
seeing that firsthand.
Yeah. I think Lucky needs one of those, like a wake-up call. But I also think that Queen needs to be in the room at the same time, and I think they need to... I know that it's not easy saying, hey, get over the person that just killed your best friend. But do we have room to be,
Don't have room. for
letting that
sort of-
spiral? I don't want to, I want to help them get over it. I just don't want to let it spiral. The longer we leave it, the worse it's going to get. Did you want to say something? I'm
100%
sorry.
with you.
Yes. The major issue I see with this plan for Lucky now is, as you've said, he's gathered a group of people, manipulated or just because he's that likable, whatnot. There are plenty of people who are more loyal to him than others. And if he feels threatened like that, what's to stop him from trying to just make a move? We're already showing
that
him
point,
that we're willing.
But that's that. Unfortunately, in our line of work, that's the risks we have to take, right? We give people that one last opportunity. We look at them across the table, say, if you fuck up again, it's death. And if they take that leap, like the fucker that tried to bomb the Hollow, unfortunately, I feel in our line of work, we just have to give that one opportunity sometimes and roll with the punches.
Man, fuck,
Because-
can we take that risk?
Do we want to live on paranoia? I don't want to become Marcus and just
I-
kill people because I think they're a traitor.
No.
You said yourself that is what Marcus did, Vic.
But this isn't...
You have to give it a
Man,
chance.
dude, we've given him chances, and the only thing I'm worried about is, like, I didn't see it at first. like why, we just killed people and stuff, but dude, Logan lost someone he loved. Instantly. Her brain got fried immediately. I watched her head crackle as we were running after him. There are certain people who I would give a million chances to. I am scared to give Lucky anymore. Because if we put them at that table, and of course, we would take away their leadership. Of course. And even if we said it'd be temporary, the things he would do, the ties he would make, that he already has made. Oh, God, we taught him way too well.
At this point, if we don't and we let it fester, he will only grow his influence. It's now or never that we sit him down at a table and be like, hey, look, you're an asset to us, but
We're gonna
You're
need
causing
people
us more
there
strife.
who've actually heard him talk about things behind closed doors.
Well, I have. I've been there. Every time I dealt with the Bruja and him situation. I've been dealing with the him and Queen situation. I've heard the whole story from both sides.
All right.
I
And there's been me.
With the concerns
talked
I
to me
brought
before as
forward, it
well.
was
Right.
simply to make sure everyone was well aware of the risk. But
He
best to
he
do it
shot up the
now.
fucking medical bay. I don't talk about that often. I'm sorry, but yeah, you don't walk into the fucking medical bay with your LMG and just. Holy shit, man! What kind of fucked up? I don't know, man.
His
That's
killing of Yuna was also a huge blow to us.
In multiple ways.
I don't really care that much for the assassin, but I feel for Queen.
I'd just request to maybe we don't. If you guys are doing this, I'm with you 100%, but maybe not have like the entirety of leadership standing there, weapons ready. Because I feel like when we did the same thing with Knockout, that was a fucking scary situation to walk into, right? Like, there's just a bunch of people stronger than you, better equipped than you, fucking just staring you down. We shouldn't be doing that with them.
True, I agree. But some people are silver-tongued, and he is. He'll talk his way out of anything. If it was just me and him in a room, he'll find a way to twist it in his own way to make it seem like he's the innocent one. The reason I say everybody is because some people require, more voices. Honestly, I don't think I could go toe-to-toe with him in just a one-on-one conversation. He's just got a way with words. If I had everybody...
Then we do it this way. Even if we had the rest of leadership here, this is still the majority. If we did a vote, and obviously Queen and Lucky would not be part of that vote, this is still the majority. So if we all agree that both of them need to have leadership stripped, then we don't make it a conversation. We've got multiple people in this room who have been there to see both sides of what they're going through. We just make sure to word it that this isn't a direct punishment. At least not for Queen. For Lucky, we can. 1,000,000%. But for Queen, this is for her own mental health.
she needs to
Which,
be
after we've
taken off
talked,
the table of leadership because we are concerned that it is putting unnecessary stress on their mental health. They need time to be away from that stress to heal.
Yes,
They will be
things
welcomed back
going
with
I
on.
open
agree on
arms
that for Queen.
when they are better.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't have... If she wants to literally kill him in the same room, we can't have them be in a leadership room together. That's too much tension.
We have to figure out a way where she doesn't have that pressure anymore, but she doesn't feel like we're leaving her alone.
I'll
Because
stay with
there's stuff going on that is she needs us for, we need to help her with. And it will just send the wrong signal. Does that make sense? Like, this is what we should be there for her and support her, and not be like, okay, well, you're not capable of being in the same room with us, something. No more you commanding people around. I don't know.
I'll stay with her. I was there for the start of all of it with her, so we've had our own moments together. We'll make sure to make it clear that
I don't need to know all details. I witnessed some of it. Okay.
You might
Sorry.
not need all the details, but as for these decisions, I do need more than what I've been given. Like, I need to understand what are the things that Lucky has said behind people's back. I need to understand what Queen has gone through recently. I haven't heard anything about these aside from Lucky's been saying bad things. Queen's going through a hard time. What has been happening?
with Queen, after I just want to say her real name at this point, but in respects to her, I'm not. When King died and everything happened, she got put down a path where she was working directly with, I forget the name of the corporate person, or like Incognito or whatever. And were being trained.
Figment.
Figment, yep. They were being trained. They were basically made into what I was for the Tigers. In the same way. Brutal training, manipulation.
I know that. I'm talking about recently.
Her situation is Millie's gone and her best friend is dead, and she knows nothing about the person that she loves, and she, I think that's driving her mad.
There's also been the fact that all the people who she's needed to get revenge on, the ones that made her the way she is, most of them are just gone, or even worse, killed by someone else before she could even get a chance.
And
She
Lucky was
feels
her
constant.
friend.
Was.
He just was, and he just fucking betrayed her. So
Yeah.
She feels like she has nothing to do anymore. And I don't mean like as in like, oh, she's just not busy. I mean that purpose that I was talking
She
about,
feels
that
like
drive.
She can't accomplish that.
And it's just been a constant spiral. And yeah, she's been a fucking Debbie Downer for a fucking hot fucking minute. But man, I get it, dude. I really do. And then the
You all
Millie
right,
stuff,
Gus?
it left so many. Oh,
you all right?
Can I grab you for a sec?
can you what?
Separate conversation. But relevant to this, and I don't know how to word this in front of all of us without causing further issues. I just need you for a sec, Biker. Can you guys talk about Lucky in the meantime? It won't take long.
Tell me about some of the things Lucky's been saying behind our back.
God, all right. I'll be honest. I don't remember the specifics, but I know he's done it. I would swear on my mother's life. He's manipulative. You can see that, right? He's also, if you say no to him or tell him that he's wrong, he'll fucking explode about it and possibly maybe shoot up a medical bay. If he feels he's in the right, he will gun for what he believes in. It's the, what's the saying? The high road or no road,
Like
or whatever
not
the fuck.
telling me about a name.
I don't know if I have had the strangest interaction with him, but I haven't seen anything like this.
When I had the talks about Queen and stuff to him, he was very how do I word this?
Careful.
Very No, not careful. I remember being upstairs in the leadership room with him and Joy, and he was very, like, playful with the situation, but in a really, like, nasty kind of way. Like, would berate Queen and say that, you know, it's kind of like a waste of time and things like that, on that he's tried to say sorry and blah. Like, he did not care. Like, I told him, hey, you need to apologize, and he's like, well, why is it my fucking fault? And I'm like, dude, you killed her friend. And he was like, well, yeah, she hunted me for my whole life and blah. And I'm like, but dude, just like apologize. And he finds it difficult to just do this without having something to rebuttal with in a kind of negative way. I saw it with the whole Bruja situation as well. Like I said, I don't know the specifics. You don't have to take my word. I just get a feeling from the guy as well.
I don't know if I'm being tricked or something, but anytime I've talked to him about problems or where he's wrong, he's listened to me. So I don't know if it's a situation of it's a new face or if I'm being lied to.
How recent? Because I've had talks with him about
several times. About
maybe
Trace, about Queen, about so many things.
Maybe it's a different personality thing. I don't know. Maybe he. I don't know if it's manipulation, or if he just feels like he can be more honest with me. Or maybe he's being more honest with you. I don't know. When he's with me, it feels like he just kind of negative, all out. Like, you know, fuck the other person kind of thing. While I'm trying to do my best to be like, hey, but can't you see it in their kind of way? And it's kind of like, well, what about me? It's always what about me when I talk to him. If he's talking to you and he's like, yeah, I can see that.
No.
I haven't really gotten that from him.
I just realized something. Remember how Vic was saying that Queen no longer has a means of getting her revenge? I think she might be diverting all of that energy over to Lucky.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That just, she made that pretty fucking clear to me. But I told her, like,
Yeah.
you know,
She
you need to
doesn't
work
think
with.
she will get the chance with Strange. She doesn't think that things will be better for her personal life that I can't talk about.
Fuck, I didn't.
Me
I
and
forgot
Gus
to bring
had
it
a
up.
talk with her a couple days ago. We saw her in the street. The hollow is suffocating for her. No one cares about her, or at least she doesn't realize people care about her. And anytime people reach out, she's scared she's gonna lose them. There's nothing that... We only barely got her to agree to go eat. And that was the only success we had.
I spoke to Millie. She told me that this is gonna be a bit difficult. And I think it's a very difficult situation because there's a lot that's been stripped away from her. And the only thing I feel she has left is kind of killing Strange. And I think she thinks that is not possible. So the next best thing, she's putting all that anger.
I told her that should be involved.
I know, involved. Millie wants her to physically kill the man. And I said, that's a
That's
hard
what she
bargain.
wants too.
I feel like everybody deserves that, right? I mean, he killed my fucking mother, for Christ's sake. I've kind of, like, let it go. I understand that there are other people that deserve this more than me. But, I don't know.
want to
She
kill him.
wants that.
I want to use his
know.
entrails as decorations.
Lots of people do want to kill him, but who gets that right, you know? Is it gonna feel satisfying at the end? Is it what she wants? I don't know. I feel her situation is difficult. And because she doesn't think that's possible, she's putting all the anger of not having Figment anymore, not feeling like she can take on Strange, losing Yuna, not having Millie around anymore, not having Lucky as a friend, and she just wants to fucking slit his throat. And she can't be mad at Biker anymore, because Biker and them got over it, kind of. The anger that she
It's
once
'cause
did
he's
have
also
for
good
him.
at talking, and he also
Yeah.
won't fight back.
And she got over the thing with Toku, and she couldn't kill him. I don't think any of this has made her feel complete. I think she feels that she's like, weak
That,
because she can't do the things that she wants.
that might come down to a misunderstanding of they have issues, they have desires, revenge plots, so on, all stemming from, well, the idea that the only way to fix it is to kill. The only way things will be better is if she can kill something or someone, cut down what makes her feel worse. Yet time and time again, when she is faced with the things that she wants to kill, she finds it's a lot harder to follow through than she believed. And when she fixes these issues without death, it doesn't match with the idea in her head that something must be removed. Someone must disappear. It's a misunderstanding or a pure belief that the only way to settle the score is to cut someone down.
That is the way things were back in the day.
Things change.
If someone wronged you, you got rid of them.
Yes, and things change.
True. Yeah, that's like deep-seated though. I think that's like with most like gang mentality, right? Right, someone fucks you over, you want to shoot them or fuck them over back. I don't know if that will be going anywhere anytime
We've
soon.
already seen Gus.
Gus? Yeah, true.
This
Things-
fucker pulled me to the side to talk about this really cool Chevrolet he fucking saw. Waste of my damn time.
A really cool Honda Chevy?
Yeah.
No, the fuck he
Honda
did.
Chevy 4Runner?
Was it?
Cherry red.
Wow.
You don't see those
Is it
anymore, man.
act-
You don't see those
Hey,
anymore.
shut the fuck up, you two numbnuts. Is it actually worth talking about, or?
It is a info hazard related issue that I will make sure to tackle to the best of my abilities and keep the rest of you informed when I can.
That's good enough.
It is related to Quinn,
Ah,
but we are taking care of it. I promise.
all right. So,
Lucky.
Vic, what are things you've heard from Lucky in regards to the whole bad mouthing and whatnot?
Well, there has been constant back sassing in his fucking chair. He has many a time, in front of all of you, decided to suddenly speak up about leadership issues only when everyone is in the room. He's done that multiple times. Mind you, Logan's done that too. But Logan also just has a really good heart about these kind of things, and we can all see it. Man just has a really fucking foul mouth about it, but hey, you grow up in Grove Street, right? But one of the bigger things was there was a time that both me and you needed to speak to him. I told him 1,000 times over that you're fine, that you're safe. I then get informed by someone that he was plotting with someone else in the room, that if we were to kill him, that they would have both stood up and striked.
Do we know who?
Unfortunately, this person who informed me also has since lost their memories due to their own stuff that was happening to them.
Do we know
Talking about
who?
wireless?
Talking about wireless.
Do we know
People
who
in
was
the
going
room.
to stand
Mind
up with
you,
him?
Wireless was not the one who told me. Wireless was the one who was going to stand up. It was actually Trace who told me. I remember. And the reason why I know is because I saw specifically, Lucky and them sitting directly next to each other. And whenever things were getting talked about, I watched them both squirm as if they're getting their hands ready at their weapons.
Anyone other than Wireless?
That's all I saw. I could only base it off the things I actually saw and heard. From my knowledge, it was only the one person, but I've heard mixed things. There are some people who think that he's a fucking idiot, who he doesn't belong in leadership. A good majority, in fact. But there are some of us, and I think we've dealt with this before with fucking Six, who are dead silent until a moment that things pop off. And all of a sudden, they're on the opposition.
Yeah.
That's my concern. Which is why I'm gonna start trying to reach out to some of the more quiet Whisperer members. Talk to them. Just in general.
If Lucky
If
already
I have
has
time.
people who are willing to draw weapons at the slightest moment of them being threatened, and the only one we really know for certain was Wireless before they lost all their memories, thus they probably may or may not still be on that list.
Lucky has also been building a bit of a... Well, after some of the things that's happened, he did get thrown into a more leadership position with some of the Whispers. Which means there are a good segment of them who probably do respect and follow him. The same thing happened to me, you know, with all the biker gangs and whatnot. And even some of the outposts. I'm pretty sure if I go drive to any outpost, guarantee you if the leaders are still alive and not been replaced, they'll probably welcome me with open arms. I guarantee that's the same thing with Lucky.
It reminds me of fucking Toku. Motherfucker could burn down the entire hollow and everyone would forgive him at the end of it. You just got that kind of way about him.
Now, I don't think Lucky has that with the Hollow. I think at least with the Hollow, if we all decided to do a giant everyone in the Hollow meeting, I think he would get voted out. But, once again, I still recall that day specifically. When I got told, it was one of the days where I actually decided that Trace was going to be my fucking second. Whenever I was fucking head of information. Because they came right to me and told me that he had someone in that room, hand on gun.
So he has backup plans for things, and he actively prepares for things. You could say that he's paranoid. A word we often come back to in this discussion.
I remember this guy at the Hollow that used to sell these lollipops. I don't remember his name, but I remember him doing the same to Toku once upon a time. I had a meeting with Toku at this secure location with this guy, and he brought Whisperers with snipers to watch Toku. And as soon as the next day he walked through our door, he shot him in the face.
I know who you're talking about.
Paranoia is a... Yeah, Doc. What a guy.
Alright. So...
Hopefully we do we have any more things to discuss? Or?
Well, let's discuss this thing. One's long term, one's short term, but both need to happen. The issue is, when do we address it? One, Queen needs to have her leadership revoked temporarily, just so we know that she's getting better and such and can actually handle it. Lucky, we don't know how many people he has on his side. We don't know. We know that he's good at talking, very good at talking, and he's very friendly. Not only with us here, aside from Queen, but also over at the meat rack. He has a girlfriend over there too. And the
Well-
long-term one, we need to make certain that everyone understands that the Whisperers are family.
Well, I don't think that's all the leadership troubles that we're having. Great example. Wall. I have a lot of respect for him. I do. I genuinely do. I've also caught that man walking through the meat rack, awkward and terrified of everyone, to the point where he saw me, stuttered, and accidentally called me sir. And whenever I've talked to a lot of the R&D people, and I do, I check in, always. They barely even remember he's even here. I don't know if that's a their issue or a him issue.
I think Wall's okay. You need someone who's, you know, you don't always need, it kind of remind me of Pell. You don't need to, like, speak up or be heard all the time to be useful or
I'll say
imperative.
this about Wall, and here's the thing that makes him absolutely invisible and why he's perfect for investigations and things. He looks so plain. He looks
Well, he's
and
perfect.
acts plain.
Well, he's perfect for it, but why is he at the table?
Because he's good at what he does, and he actually keeps things organized.
I think he deserves it. You know, just because he's quiet and he stutters, and maybe he's not as. It's a bit like Queen's situation, right? You think she deserves that because of everything she's done. I think Wall deserves the same.
How often he's held that shield up for people.
It's about perspective, right? You haven't seen too much of him. I'd say I have. Different side of a
But
coin.
I
there's
can
multiple
say
people, right?
it is very easy to forget that he's in a room just because he's normal.
It's fucking weird,
He's not the
right?
he's not the best with words. He's not a leader guy. I've seen him be great at his job though. When he wants something done or wants people to get stuff done, I've seen him do great at that. He's not great at structure or giving like overarching input. In my
He's
opinion.
good at keeping tabs on things.
Yeah.
Well, then what about Trace?
I was gonna ask
Oh,
about
boy.
Trace.
I just don't like her fucking attitude. I'll say it first and foremost. She's
I
she's
don't
just the new
like-
generation. that's what I'm gonna cover it up to. Is they just
Listen,
don't
all-
respect.
all in one.
We
They got
still
energy
don't even
drink.
know she. We still
It-
don't even know
they-
she yet.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh,
They
yeah.
agreed on
I
it.
apologize.
They agreed on it.
They agreed on
a med
it.
bay.
Okay. That sounds so demeaning to just
That's
refer to someone
what
as
they
an it.
accepted.
Yep.
I think
It-
they're doing that as a meme.
Probably.
Okay, well,
Oh, Sean,
I
you've
don't-
learned about memes. The kids
I wish I
sometimes
didn't.
use them.
you sound like you want to say something. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I did.
Well, go on, say something.
No, I just
Go on, Jimmy.
think
Say something.
as one of the youngings, there's a difference between using it in a derogatory manner and not. That's like
It's
I know you're wearing a shark. You're a shark sweater right now that says meow.
It says meow.
Ah.
That alone begs the question what sharks even sound like, but let's not even go into that.
There
I
is
wanna talk about
such a
Jimmy.
difference.
I feel like they
There's
don't wear
such
the
a-
right clothes to these meetings.
There is such a difference between this side of the table
have that
Okay.
much
and this
clothes.
side of the table.
Yeah, this
you guys
side's
are
old.
But never mind, I'm also old. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're also
I'm
old.
the younger
okay,
one at the
okay.
table.
Before we-
how old are you?
Anyways.
Before
I'm
we
19.
joke around, because I'd love to, but
it's
I'm seriously concerned about Trace.
Yeah, you're pretty old.
Because now we're past.
But, like,
This is
you're
the
kinda, like,
second
hip.
time in a row, or maybe even specifically more. I love the two of you. Stop. Thank you. So there are two of you. I'm not sitting there making out with Cairo right now. We get
make
it.
it out.
Nothing.
All right. So there have been two instances where them having the power of leadership has put people in. Actually, no. One time, then another time before they were even had fucking power of leadership. First, there
one of those
was
Robin?
one of those was actually me and a bunch of the others who are now stuck in this Havana stuff. Because they decided to go looking into something, they got caught, didn't tell any of us because they wanted to wait and get more information on the person, and then we got told, hey, we have all of your information. It would be a shame if we leak this. So now we're in what we are. Second time being Robin. Which, hey, we could say maybe they had a plan and Robin overstepped her bounds. Shouldn't been there in the first place.
Yeah, they were given instructions on what to do, and I guess that wasn't relayed.
Trace is amazing at their job. Trace is legendary at their job, just not as a leader. As a second, to none. The best second I could ever ask for information.
So, because of what we're talking about, especially because two are involved in intelligence, we're gonna need to think about someone who can take that place.
Don't look at
Oh
him.
no.
Look at him.
You just said you wanted to say something!
Oh, yeah, look at him.
I know we just had this talk where you don't want to bunch yourself on your shoulder, but it's quite literally
Oh, I'm getting the
Trace will
whiteboard
listen
again.
to Biker.
Oh no. I'm
Vic,
getting the whiteboard.
You're putting
Okay.
yourself
Yeah,
in that situation, Vic,
So
man.
that is
And-
actually. So originally, why I asked Biker to come to this meeting, God, I almost fucking
Vic!
forgot.
Vic.
Is sorry, Vic.
Thank
fuck
you,
me.
Sean. Thank you,
Um,
Sean.
There is a reason that I brought him was because I did want to say that you should be a leader again, and I think we need you to be a leader again.
I think it also will probably soften the blow with Lucky.
Huh.
If
I don't know
you-
about that. I don't know about soften.
Trace, maybe. Lucky?
Maybe.
I
Who knows?
also don't know
Maybe
about that.
I don't know.
Well,
Everything.
so there was for a time whenever it was both me and Lucky in the Tigers. Lucky was always referred to as Biker Light.
The fanboy.
Yeah. And he got the fanboy title for a hot minute. And when I was given leadership, there were some days I felt like I could notice glares. But he still had his seat, but I don't know. I do worry a little bit that if I'm put back on the table and he's taken off, opinions might be given.
I think at this point,
Others.
if people want to leave or don't feel like they belong here at the Hollow, now's the time, you know? We're about to go into some serious next level shit for just us in general. And I just don't think we have the room to really be pussyfooting around these people. We got rid of Knockout because they made it blatantly clear that they did not look at us as family. They were stupid enough to look us in the face and say, I don't see you as my family. I don't see you as this, that, and this. And and
I
preach to
don't
high
care if you did
heaven.
all these things for me.
Yeah, so these people are hiding it, but also still kind of whispering it in the background to whoever they want to talk to it about. I think we should start rooting these people out. And then we'll start getting influx of people who do want to be here, that do care. It's about
I
that,
do
that
really
little...
want
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you even
I was
want
about to
that
say-
position, Becca?
Yeah.
That's a fucking question, but I'm not gonna sit here and spill out my guts about my thoughts on all of it. Just
I don't think he really has a choice, if I'm gonna be honest. If you're a part of this
I thought
Havana
there's always a
shit...
choice.
Well, hear me out. If he's a part of this Havana shit and they're not giving him a choice, I think we need you as somebody that's a part of all this, that knows the other side of what's going on.
Chase,
Look,
I
you
want
just-
you to think about this on the scarier side of things. If not Biker, Vic, I did it myself. I'm having to remind myself too. Who else in the Whispers could even possibly take that position of intelligence?
Intelligence?
Yeah. Think through all of it. Because I can't name a single one.
I feel like there's probably people. You know, the doctor guy. He's pretty smart. Dog's dad. He's
Don.
pretty good. Yeah,
Dawn.
Don.
Yeah, he's the
He's-
only
he-
one I can think of.
Actually,
But I
He's
think that also
Dawn.
goes with the family.
Don saved my life twice. And one time it was just before he got mowed down by a minigun because, well, 6 holds grudges.
Yep.
I have a lot of respect for that man. A lot of respect for him. I think he'd do great in it.
Yeah, me too.
He'd also
He's-
probably be able to bring everyone closer together.
Yes. He's got
Yeah, he's good at
He
that.
would come to my
same-
college and do talks about being on the field and treating people and being there for people.
I think the great thing about him is he's trying to live up to his son's legacy. Even though he
No
said he
better way.
wasn't going to do that. And he said he would never be what Dog was. But I definitely feel like a part of him is trying. And he knows that we needed Dog and how important he was.
He has the mask
I don't know.
engraved on his sword, man. Of course he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
So-
better way for him to live up to
We
that.
have Dawn, Gareth, as his actual name is, and Vic.
I think there's some
Both
hidden
of which
potential.
are
that we
involved
don't
with
know
Havana,
about.
because Dawn keyed me in on it in the first place.
I think-
And both of your experience.
I can attest to Garrett's ability. I've been around him a bit longer than everyone else because I sheltered him after he was removed by Millie.
Cairo, funnily enough, you don't need to tell me about his accomplishments. I can tell by the way he walks and the way he talks. He's good. I don't need his list of merit badges for him. I just know.
I think you guys are a lot better off with him on leadership than me. I mean that.
I mean, don't think this is gonna stop you from not sitting around on some of these meetings. I'm pretty sure these two are at least gonna drag you into that.
Yeah.
I just had a fucking crazy idea.
Congratulations on being an advisor.
Oh.
What?
huh?
Oh, you
I
have a
said the
crazy
thing.
plan.
Said
the thing.
Oh my god.
Should I be
Hold on.
worried?
I don't.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Should I start running in that direction?
This is a difficult thing. This comes back to wrench. I don't know why I just thought about this, but if Wrench became leadership, do you think that would help him? Do you think the position to be able to give other people orders?
Barely know that he's head of Mechis.
Fair. But that's because he's not in a place where he can be seen or heard. I don't know why I thought about it.
But
I
an
thought like he's in.
intelligence role, or-
No. I just meant like
Well,
as a mechanic, engineer, whatever he is. I just thought like I know we have Walt, but I just thought like, do you think like him in that position would help him with his mental state?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
Impossible to
That'd
say.
be so much stress on him.
Well,
Or maybe
mean-
less, because he's giving out things.
I mean,
Well,
he's already
we-
in a
we-
position to give out.
Fair, I
I
did not know
think-
that.
I don't think it would be a terrible idea to have him sit at the table, but not as directly, you are leader of this. I mean, he's already leadership of the Mechis. But to be beside Wall, and to be Wall's second, might be good for him. I mean, directly having someone who you can go to and talk to for all of these things, and having us show him the respect of, hey, you've done all of this. We want you to be at this table. We want you to be able to show that we have this appreciation and respect for you, but we know your mental health isn't well. So allow this to be us showing you that we respect you. We want to give you what you need, but we need you to get better. On top of what we already want to do. That way, he's still at the table, his word still matters, but he doesn't have this direct stress of, oh god, it all matters to me. Because he's working side by side with Wall.
All right. So,
That's good.
Vic, I'm not going to make you head of intelligence. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. Just learning from people and bringing things to our attention, especially when they need to be. We'll talk with Gareth, Don, about this, but let's go into this full force after the holidays. Give some time to think, let things settle, observe things, and do what else needs to be done. It'll give me time to talk with Gareth. It'll give us time to think things over more with Queen and Lucky, and just overall get a better plan in place.
Can we get a Christmas tree? It doesn't need to be like a actual one, just like one of those plastic ones.
I don't think we don't have the funds to afford an actual one. Unless you want to contact,
You know what? Oh my
unless you
God.
want to contact one of the super magic men to
we-
bring
No,
us a
no, 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 no,
Christmas
no,
tree.
No, get this. Back when we had the Fallen base, there was this crane hook thing, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys hanged Kai from it once upon a time.
Yeah.
There is, like, we hang the Christmas tree upside down off this hook instead of, like, it was fucking amazing.
what
I we should get Christmas tree. It was
we
great.
are planning to
I-
heist a plant shop.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to heist any place to get like a little small thing. And
We can heist
yeah,
the
yeah,
fucking those tree stalls on
There's
the
a whole
side.
plan. There was a whole plan for a tree that Cairo was trying to get that we just haven't had time to go and do.
Yes, there was a
I remember having to help you come up with the plan.
I don't think you want to hear this, Chase. To explain,
I don't know what. What do I not want to hear?
the reason why I need the specific tree, my god may have told me to get it. And it may be a way.
Conversation.
I've seen it.
Sounds kinda
It's
crazy.
real. Don't question it. It is actually an actual thing. It was like this giant triangle thing. I was making weird noises.
That's not
No
the
fucking
fingers
clue
might
what
exact.
that meant.
How many fingers am I
5.
holding up?
I'm fuck. You said you believe
My
me with
thumb
the
is in the
magic
finger.
shit.
Wrong, dickhead.
It's an actual
I was
real
about to
god.
ask.
It's real. I don't know. Maybe we should all start praying to that. I don't know how that shit works, man.
How many
I
legs do I have?
3.
Stop.
Wrong answer. 4. Go on.
Fuck you.
I'm going to smash you.
Okay, I feel like this is where we can safely kind of conclude the.
I actually have
leadership
one more
meeting.
thing. One more thing. It's really small. This is a more personal bias that I have. I have difficulty around it. Don't really know why. It's just something I was raised up on. Don't really have much respect for synthetics. Don't really see them as people. Don't really understand why people try to put them in the place of people. They were made by humanity to do jobs that we didn't want to fucking do. And I don't like machines. Probably has some deep-seated shit to do with Victor Strange. I just don't fucking like robots, synthetics, and AIs. I'm worried about the AI we have, and I don't know if anybody considers that.
Oh,
We just
the
let
one
this
we're
continual-
actively
One
capturing
we're playing
that is
Stardew
afraid of
with.
all of us.
So
I think
we're
I think it's a
we're
slow
okay with
process
having
of-
a
I
continuous
think
learning.
they're okay.
Okay, you think they're okay because they're really smart
Chase.
and probably make that.
Ooh.
Chase, if we're gonna be able to keep up with everything that's gonna be coming up to us, we need resources. And that's not just people. Now, me personally, I think Rosie and them are. It's Rosie, right? That's their name?
yes.
Rosie.
It is
It's
Rosie, yeah.
Oh, Rosemary.
Yeah. I at least the times that I've actually spoken with them, they do seem quizzical and whatnot, but they seem like they actually want to like learn and stuff.
They're
And
like a kid. Almost.
but of
course they do.
They're
That's-
like a really smart kid.
Isn't that what
A very
machines
afraid
do?
smart kid.
I
Yeah.
don't trust it. I don't think I'll ever trust it.
I-
If you trust it, by all means. I just think it's a really bad
Chase.
idea that we have this thing here, especially
Do you
with Victor
trust your
Strange.
phone to give you street directions?
Well, yeah, but that's a bit different to a fucking like
That's a
I was about to
horrible-
say-
a corporate AI.
Well,
Right?
hold on. If we work
being-
together with them, if we teach them and we work with them, this could mean in the future, if we like, for instance, get our hands on like a fucking like corporate mech or something that can only be controlled by an AI, wouldn't you want to be on the friendly side of that AI that we
Can-
plug in there?
But are we on the friendly side? Sorry that I'm
That's
bringing
what
this
I'm
up, but
saying.
I
I
talked to
think
her
we are.
a few times, and she seemed more afraid of us than anyone else. We're
That's-
effectively
that's
holding
why
a
we-
hostage at the moment, right?
That's why we.
It's
That's why
because
we
she
work
has no
on it.
hardware to do anything.
Yeah. We don't
Look,
really
there's
have
a
people
reason-
that talk to her.
Oh,
There's a reason District Zero
Just saying, man.
doesn't have the synthetic rights, and I think it should stay that way. But hey ho.
Well, I think you may be a racist.
Yeah, well,
genuinely.
to synthetics, absolutely. They're not
This is,
people.
this is either racist or classist in a way.
They're not people. They're machines.
okay, but
They are.
can we?
They're not.
But we should put a thing in there. There's
My phone is in
different
front of a
opinions.
My
But
computer in the
If
techie
we're
bay is
talking
a
about
person.
getting everyone on family terms, right? Shouldn't we include her as well and make sure
Yeah,
that she
Rosie should be
actually
included.
feels?
That's why we're playing Stardew. I thought that it's like oh,
Yes.
Rosie.
Yes,
Playing
you're
a
playing
video game.
co-op,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
She enjoys
Chase.
fishing.
Concerns from what I've understand.
Yes.
If your concern
better
is
than me,
that
it's
it's
bullshit.
learning and
AI.
going
she
to
I know.
has
be
advantage.
dangerous,
I know.
if it's acting like a child and learning like a child, if it sees us as family, it will have no reason to ever
Yeah, but these
want to
things can
hurt
be
us.
hacked. These things can be reprogrammed. They're just ones and zeros. Somebody halfway across the fucking
that-
district could tell that thing to turn on us at any point in time, regardless of it's had a
And
good time with us
Chase-
and played Stardew Valley.
And that's why we protect it.
Guess what? There's also magic out there that allows you to enter people's minds, and also
Yeah.
brainwashing.
Can I really quick? I know we're like literally finishing up, but you mentioning the mech thing, I need your guys' opinion. Trace wants to put our AI into the mech we currently have.
What mech?
I don't want
Horrible
that
idea.
project to be happening anymore until
Why would we
things are
do that?
either
So
better
there
with
actually
her.
there has been progress on that actually.
Okay.
I asked them to help me out with my helmet. After putting the night vision in there, I kind of thought, wouldn't it be cool if I had like,
You were
for instance,
connect with her.
well, kind of. So the idea is that basically I can kind of like focus on like a target. It'll put like a little like little cool little techno thing on them, and then when they run around or like try to go around and stuff, it keeps them tracked for a bit long. Go on, Sean.
So, how many did you all forget that Rosie is actually the reason why the mech could even be piloted in the first place?
Nope.
Rosie is an active
I don't know any
pilot
of this tech shit.
assistant
What mech?
of the mech.
Trace
Apparently never
ones
A new mech?
There's
meant
a
to be completely
construction
run by
mech.
her.
that we have.
That's the only thing I'm mentioning. I don't know if the project is
I feel like
still
we're using him
actively
more of
being
a
worked
tool than
on,
anything else.
or
Well, so what we're gonna do is
Mhm.
that little targeting thing that I want to be able to help, because we fight a lot of enemies who move super fast, and even though I'm a pretty fucking fast dude, even I can barely keep up with sometimes. It'll basically be a little targeting thing so that when they're running through smoke, running around, I can still keep locked on that one person and be able to kind of get an idea of where they ran off to, where they went to. Rosie will essentially connect with my helmet.
Mhm.
That way they can go along with
Yeah,
us. They can see kind of like what we're doing, be out there with us, and then if it works out really well and they don't cause us any trouble, next step, right? You know what I mean? Like small steps, right? Get them out
Yeah.
there, get them with us. Also, it'll help in making them feel like a participant with us. You know what I mean?
Or is a
Currently-
tool that is being used.
yeah, that's why
That is
I
my
don't want to
concern.
say no to this concept and stuff, but
I'll be
I just
speaking to him.
currently
I'll be talking to him. I'll ask him questions. We'll work together. I understand how people work, the two of you. Hi. I
know.
understand.
Okay, so you talked to her and she's shared it with you.
Yeah.
How afraid she is of us. She's told you that.
But she hasn't told me that yet, but I haven't had the opportunity. I am working through an entire hollow of people, Gus.
I am
I'm
aware.
trying.
I am aware. I'm just
Do I
saying.
need to have an interview with Rosie.
I think I've
Get rid of the AI.
maybe miss.
I
No.
don't want it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Jesus.
Maybe I'm not saying
wish I could see
what
this
I'm trying
lot
to
simpler as
say
it is.
properly. I don't want the thing to stop, and I don't want any projects happening relating to it to stop. But for now, I kind of want to just mark the mech as don't touch right now. That's all I'm asking.
Which mech?
And I want other
Because
people's
I feel like
opinions.
there's a misunderstanding.
We have a
construction
we have
mech.
an exosuit that is in the construction mech. Yes.
Okay. Is this a new one? Or is this the original
No,
one that was
it's
stolen?
the one.
We've
Because-
had it
Um,
since back around when we took care of Davy.
So that one's gone. Did
No,
Mari
that one's
never
still here.
Mari disassembled that to make
It's-
their exosuit.
Yeah.
That they
As
told
far
me
as
that
I'm
when they
aware,
gave the
it's
exosuit
not, and
back.
I've asked about it several times.
What?
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
I've heard the other thing as well, that Mari's thing was taken apart from that thing. That's what I've heard.
I heard that
That's-
the. I'm so confused now.
That's what Mari told
Okay,
me.
okay. So we will discuss
Do we only
this.
have the exosuit?
I hold on. How about we shut up on it? We will discuss this later in a different location.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Are you
Okay.
seeing my?
Final last thing,
The
because
mech
apparently
is taken apart and is an exosuit now. The exosuit is what we have now.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Do we
Awesome.
have the exosuit, or does she
Yes.
have
Mari
has
just
the
sent me a
exosuit.
message.
She
She has the
she
exosuit.
gave us the
We have
exosuit
the
Amazing
exosuit.
and a
timing.
van.
I don't know.
Very convenient, yeah.
Cool. Okay.
We have
Okay, that helps a lot.
Yay! Thank God she just so happened to message you. Woo!
Yeah.
Convenient timing. Saves us a lot of time.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, final
Oh my
thing.
god.
I need 5 minutes with you. and then that's it. From my
5
side.
minutes. I like how short this 30-minute meeting was.
Ah, yeah,
Yes.
it's super short.
You're not coming over here to talk?
Yes, 1 second.
One.
Oh god.
One.
Sorry.
I feel like this is not really like separate. Well, fine. Okay.
I mean, we
Chase
could
tell you about-
make it completely separate.
Doesn't matter. You can choose
I did not realize it was gonna be this tough.
Mm-hmm. I have to go back.
That's not on me. Oh, it is. It's right there. Just can't see.
I know.
Detail about the thing.
About your arm?
I'm gonna go for a ride for a bit and be home a little bit later, okay?
Okay.
The eye.
No. What is that? What's
I'll
the eye?
probably be working.
Is there anything you want me to pick while I'm out?
From Millie.
Anything.
Something to identify her from
Anything?
strange.
Anything.
I'm assuming.
There's something that is not
I got you.
see that.
I'll see what movies are available.
Sure.
I told Chase this like
Want to do a movie night?
a few months ago,
Sure.
and I think he just kind of forgot.
Fiona's always watching some kind of new anime. Maybe we can see what they're doing.
Yeah.
We can, oh,
Sean talked to him.
-1.
and then he didn't do it. I don't really
what?
know why. I assumed you knew about all.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's a new Godzilla movie, Godzilla -1. So
This just makes me
Oh,
wonder
wait,
The old
I
monster
have-
movie.
more I'm not being told on a regular basis.
hey,
I'm really trying my best.
I love that. There you go.
It's
Yeah.
I can ask.
a giant monster made of radiation. Really,
Jimmy, are you alright?
thematic.
You're just standing
Yeah.
there staring.
You know?
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna go to bed.
It was a fun thing to
Don't
find.
I
let
gotcha.
a giant lizard with
Your turn?
atomic
My eyes
breath
hurt.
just annihilate Tokyo?
Yeah, the thing
17
made of
times?
radiation.
Alright, good night, everyone. Good night. Good night. Good night.
No.
Good night.
Just so crippled.
It's still a fun movie. But anyways, have a good night.
I'll be home a little bit later, okay?
Okay. I need to message Warthog. Come get me then. Still can't drive.
He won't complain again, will he?
Oh,
I feel like he gets upset whenever I don't drive you home.
no. I mean, I think he takes a bit of pride in being my personal chauffeur, given that, you know, he gets to be like the right hand man of the boss kind of thing. I think everyone else
Oh,
gets
yeah,
upset
I'm
when
starting
he
to-
comes back and gets to boast about it.
No, maybe I should start feeling jealous.
No, because I don't think he
No,
can
I'm-
think that way.
I'm messing.
There was a
I'm
nurse
sorry.
once who tried to flirt with him, I'm pretty sure, and it must have been in a different like zone of the city, because he just kind of walked it off like he didn't know what happened. A lot of people
Have any
didn't
tried to
get-
flirt with you yet?
No,
Really?
a lot of them are scared of
I'm gonna
me.
call kind of scared of you. What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. You are intimidating, but like intimidatingly like sexy.
I don't.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I'm not sure I understand.
Like a powerhouse, but beautiful. You know what I
Hmm,
mean, like you're like the perfect in between.
I'm pretty sure Warthog has confessed to me several times that they never enter the Hollow when I'm in it, because he doesn't want to have to see me when I'm doing my actual work, because he's already scared of me at the hospital.
But I love seeing you at work. You are so good at everything that you do, baby. All right. Well, go on and tell Warthog that You can go ahead and get drinks. They'll be on me. After he's done driving, of course.
Yeah. I don't know if he drinks. I never asked. I don't know what he does in his off time, other than things that he thinks are cool. So maybe drinking is cool.
That's
to
a
him.
solid
Who
question.
knows?
Maybe.
Alright.
You wait?
Yeah. Just didn't want to talk about robots anymore.
Do you want to talk about my god then? How it wants me to get a tree?
No, I don't want to talk about your goddamn fucking god. Yeah, your god's fucking delusional, apparently. Where the fuck are you gonna get a tree? Do you actually have a tree?
I know where to get one.
What the fuck? Does he know where we are?
He can see and hear you
I can't
now.
even. Nah, I'm not even gonna pretend like it's actually happening. I'm sorry. I'm way too like narrow-minded and tunnel-visioned to believe any of that shit. I don't even believe in the magic stuff that's happening. I just think Gus is insane, but I just like let him pretend like.
I look
he's doing
forward to
something.
proving you wrong one day.
Yeah, you know
Dude,
what?
I'm
I can't
I'm
wait.
gonna be honest, man. I didn't either. It still feels weird being one of the few
No,
whisperers
dude.
who's seen all sides of this shit.
You know who Sakoto is? They took me into some mind, like Willow's mind thing. I still don't believe that happened. Some mindscape, and I got to kill like this grotesque version of Malleus. Weirdest shit I've ever done in my life. Also, I can't talk about that. Never mind. Shit.
The mindscapes are real. I've been to.
You
a
ever
few.
watch Stranger Things? That Netflix series?
What?
Yeah.
My life has just turned into that. Okay, I'm not gonna say why or how, but I just need you to understand that my life has just become that series. I've started putting up Christmas lights around my house just to try and communicate with stuff on the other side. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Sounds crazy.
Excuse me, God believer? You just said that you believe in gods and you're trying to find a tree, and you say I'm
Yes.
crazy? What?
I'm not
Oh,
hanging
man.
Christmas
You
lights.
you kind of sound like one of those crazy people that says weird shit like there's like a city underneath the city, like kind of stuff. Like,
That is real. What do you mean?
no. What do you
Have you seen the
mean?
Market District?
Yeah, I've
That
seen
is
the
just
market district.
Yeah, it's just a city underneath a city, right?
Well, no. I'm talking about like underneath Zephyr, like lower Zephyrus city. Like, see, there's like
Oh.
a hidden secret city.
Yeah,
or
the
some
mole
weird
rat
shit.
people. There
Yeah,
is,
the
that's
mole
true.
rat
Yeah.
people. Yeah, that's not. Oh, dear fucking lord, you are lost to us.
Alright.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Because
Go
we
bed.
don't want to cook.
Go eat.
You.
Where is that? That's me.
You.
Alright. Thank you all, of course, for watching, and of course, as always, I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.